G'day everybody, my name is Elliot Waters and you're listening to the Dysregulated podcast. As always, thank you for tuning in. Okay, let me give you a bit of context. At the moment, I'm at the university and it is, what time is it? Just about to hit 4:30 a.m. So you're probably wondering why am I at uni when I'm not doing a degree and, work probably isn't that pressing. Why would I be at uni until 4:30 a.m.? Well, I'm going to tell you, and it's two factors, frustration and hyper-fixation. So I am very, very frustrated at the moment in the fact that in the main domains of life, so I guess finances, career, getting a house, relationships, all those sorts of things. I haven't been making much progress on that lately. I've been doing a lot of the background work to get my psyche, my mental, approach to these things sound so that I can move forward. But at this point, there hasn't been much moving forward. And I have just about had enough. And I got the shits and I was like, that's it. I'm going to uni. I'm redoing the resume. Finally, I'm going to make my LinkedIn as it needs to be. And that's the end of that. So I worked today all day, finished at 9 p.m. tonight, come straight to the university, and I've been on that computer working away, and it's now 4:30 a.m. and I have a psychology appointment tomorrow at 10. Today at 10, and then I'm at work again from 1 p.m. So, there's no rest for the wicked. And is this a good idea? Probably not, but this is the thing. Hyperfixation, especially when driven by something emotional. So the frustration is the emotion, red hot frustration. I could conceptualize that as coming from any of the disorders that I've got. But for example, BPD really has been hammering about this career thing because of this whole identity disturbance factor. So there's been a lot of emotion coming from that direction, pushing this idea that, we're not doing anything, we're not moving, we need to get going because we're going to miss the boat. And that is unfortunately something I sort of do believe. So it has really pushed all this red hot emotion. And then I don't know, is it the ADHD hyperfixation? Is it an autistic hyperfixation? It's doing my resume and stuff, but at the same time I was reading psychological journals because I'm a nerd, reading about some different therapies and stuff, just some basic stuff, just because it's entertaining at 3 a.m, just start reading about new psychological theory. It's great. So, you could ask the question, is this an autistic sort of hyperfixation? Because as we know, I'm obsessed with mental health. Just about everything has to do with mental health. Is it an ADHD sort of hyperfixation? Some people would say that those two are one and the same. So the hyperfixation, that is, two different disorders, but the hyperfixation the same. Or is it purely being driven by red hot emotion? I don't think so. I think it's the red hot emotion combining with the hyperfixation element of whether it's ADHD, autism, whatever, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is it's 4:30 in the morning. I'm still at the uni and I'm now doing a podcast episode. I just realized I'm this hyperfixation that I'm explaining, I'm doing it right now, right this second, doing this episode. I could have waited till tomorrow to do it, but no, I'm doing it now. And a lot of this, though, is driven. So back to the emotion. I hope this is making sense because I tell you, it is hard to get the words out. So the emotion thing. So there's the frustration, but there's also this idea that, the inner critic is constantly saying, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. There's the imposter syndrome that's telling me, although I've got a degree and I've done all this work in mental health, blah, 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 I'm not really that good. And, any moment, everyone's going to realize that I'm a fraud. these are the sorts of thoughts, the obsessive thoughts, and they are obsessive. That feeds into the OCD. See how these, the constellation of disorders, they all work with each other to bring me down? Anyway, what was I saying? The obsessions, definitely there's that emotional element to it. Then there's more of a intellectual, I would say the imposter syndrome, sort of an intellectual look at things, evaluating what I perceive as my performance or abilities versus what I'm aiming for. And then there's the inner critic that's just illogical and just running me down, but unfortunately is so bloody loud. So there's a lot of things going on. Again, I don't know if this is really making sense. If it's not, at least this episode is a bit of an insight into my headspace at 4:30 in the morning. But that's sort of what I think's going on. There's this frustration that's being driven by this insecurity that I'm not good enough. And there's this frustration that not only am I not good enough, I'm not actually doing anything to sort of test that theory. And that's more of a logical sort of self, that's not a disorder talking. That's me, the self, saying, no, we need to check this hypothesis. Am I incapable, or is it just that we haven't made the effort to test the theory, and maybe it'll all work out? And that's what has also been driving it, and that's the frustration, because, this could have been done a long time ago, and maybe I would have had a new job by now, who knows, and things would be different, but I don't, and I'm frustrated at that because, well, and then I just thought of another dimension. Then there's the anxiety. So, fair income. There's a lot going on. There's the anxiety component, which is the catastrophising. So not only do I think I'm not good enough, I then imagine myself in the new role, absolutely ruining things, going anywhere new and having a shocking time and it turning out really badly. And then being back to square one. So there's that anxiety to make the leap from my current job because it's comfortable to the new job. And then there's frustration embedded in that as well. So there's this emotional component that's it's really driven by BPD because I'm not, maybe. Okay, take away BPD. Let's take that away. That might not sort of count. Let's look at it differently. There's this emotional component that's saying, Elliot, you could be doing better and you should be doing better for yourself. And when I think of those sorts of things, this just keeps getting wilder and wilder. When I think of how I could be doing things better for myself and how I deserve better, I always then think of my inner child, which I'm still doing work with my inner child. And then I feel this guilt and shame as well, because I'm like talking to me young fella, meditating, saying, look, I know we're not living up to our expectations. I'm sorry. I expected to be able to do better for you. I'm sorry. So there's that sort of guilt, shame emotion. There's the frustration, because there is this burning desire to do what is in line with my meaning and purpose, which is having a job that is in the mental health space somewhere. So there's that component as well, lots of frustration. I would say tonight it has been the main driver, for sure. And then there's the anxiety and the catastrophising and the fear that we're going to stuff it up and it's all going to be ruined and my life will be over. Because that's how bad these catastrophising gets. Like if I think of myself driving trucks, if I was to go back into transport, like I imagine myself crashing a B-double on the highway. Like it's ridiculous. It's illogical. There's no evidence to suggest that sort of stuff could happen or would happen. But that's what I jump to. I don't jump to, hey, this new job will be a great opportunity. This could really set me up, for great things down the track. And this is, I don't think of that stuff. I think of how jumping to a new job potentially will ruin my life. And this is a huge part of what I've got to do in therapy, which I'll be talking about today in a couple of hours, about this, because it's a huge problem. I need to stop catastrophising and bring it all down a bit so I have the ability to then engage with sending resumes out and all that sort of stuff. Because the anxiety of me catastrophizing about these things, what does it cause? What's anxiety cause me all the time? Freeze mode. So what does that mean? I don't do anything to further myself or the chances of me getting a new job because I'm catastrophizing all the time. I'm anxious and I am in freeze mode, so I avoid it and don't do it. And then there's the frustration because I don't want that to happen, but it keeps happening and I get really, really, really frustrated about it. And then there's just anger as well because this isn't where I want to be. And, you know, the BPD demon sort of arcs up a bit and it's just, I don't know how BPD really sort of fits in. I know I mentioned it earlier. I don't really know how it fits in, but I don't know. Whenever I think white hot emotion, I always think BPD's got a hand to play in there somewhere. And then there's the OCD component because I am constantly obsessing every day about the fact that I don't have a new job. Constantly obsessing. And then also obsessing about the catastrophizing part because remember, OCD is a subcomponent of anxiety. And then there's the hyper-fixation at the end of it, which has actually got me sitting at it. So the frustration has got me from work to uni to do this work. It's the hyper-fixation from, I'm going to say probably ADHD, maybe some autistic elements in there too, because I was looking at those journal articles. That's what kept me at uni and has kept me here, and it's now 20 to 5 in the morning, and God, I need sleep. I really, really need sleep. So there you go. There's a bit of insight into my world. I don't know, do other people do this stuff? I don't think so, because I was the only person in the library from about 12:30 onwards. It was just me. So I'm sort of thinking maybe this is a bit of an Elliot quirk. Maybe that's a bit of the autism coming through. Things are a little bit different. But hey, I don't know. What can I say? I'm busy. I got lots of stuff going on, which is great, which is awesome. But I don't have heaps of time. And that's why I sort of want this new job too, because unfortunately my current job, which has been so great to me, Bunnings Warehouse, they've been amazing. I can't rave about them any more highly. But now it's got to the stage that when I'm there, I'm thinking this is taking me away from doing the mental health stuff I should be doing, and there's all these things I should be doing. So that gets stressful, and then the frustration, etc. Anyway, I've done enough talking around in circles. Thank you everybody for listening. If you've listened this far, this is Elliot at his wit's end. But I'll tell you what, I was very productive, very hyper-fixated. I got that resume done. I got my LinkedIn done. If you want to have a look at my LinkedIn page, give me some... Actually, it would be great, and I'm being serious, if you guys wanted to go on my LinkedIn page and have a look at it and give me some feedback, that would be pretty cool. So that's LinkedIn, .com/Elliot Waters 90. Elliot Waters 90. So if you're bored or want to check out what has been produced out of Elliot's madness, well, linkedin.com/Elliot Waters 90. And if you got some feedback for me, that would be amazing. Okay, thank you everybody. I'm going home for a little sleep and then I'm going to the psychologist. So the next episode I'm planning on doing will be my therapy reflections. What are we up to? 4? I think it's up to 4. And I've got a funny feeling I'm going to have a bit to report to you guys about. And a lot of it is going to be about tonight. So it'll be a good way to sort of sum up tonight and then look at it from a different perspective and see how maladaptive this has been. All right, thank you everybody, and I'll see you next time here on the Dysregulated podcast.